Let me give an example. I've probably used this one before, but this was a conversation with Donna Henderson where I asked her, like, what happens to your brain? And we've had her on before where she talks
Yeah.
about what it's like
Yeah.
to be
One of my
ADHD, but not
favorite
autistic.
conversations, probably.
Yeah. So I was like, what happens to you when someone asks what your favorite book is? And she was like, well, it would depend who was asking.
Right.
And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, if it's my neighbor, I would say like probably some fiction book. If it's a coworker, I would say a psychology book. And then I explained what would happen in my brain where I'm like, I'm thinking through all of the books I've ever read. And I'm like, give me more context. What bucket are we talking about? Are we talking
Yeah.
about psychology, social? Like what kind of,
Yeah.
give me a bucket to work with. And how that would be a really hard question for me to try to answer what's my favorite.
For sure.
For her, she's responding to the social context of there is a social bid being made with her neighbor. It's not
Yep.
about like factually what's your favorite book.
Right.
And so there's a social context that's helping her brain to filter out what information to give her. And she just intuitively says a fiction book. That is
Right.
not an analytical process for her. She's
Right.
perceiving the social context. And it's like it creates, the way I think about it is it creates a filter for what information is important to pay attention to. When you
For
don't
sure.
have that, we're
Yep.
doing our bottom up processing.
Yep.
I'm hearing the question, what's your favorite book? I'm not perceiving or experiencing the social context of we're in this, there's a social bid happening, we're in a dynamic. And so I'm going to just answer it as factually and accurately as possible. So that would be
Right.
an example of someone who has and is experiencing social context in a way that is filtering her brain
Yep.
what information to pay attention to intuitively, not
Yep.
analytically,
Yep.
versus a bottom up process that doesn't have that context filter to help guide. Here's the
Right.
information that's important to pay attention to here.
I think you broke that down beautifully.